All right, this week on Camera Talk, back to Japan again. He likes going back to Japan, don't you? Because he's turning Japanese.
I'm turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so.
We're looking at Nikon. Nikon's one of their classics. It's an 85mm 1.2
What the fuck?
Nikkor H. It was a 1960s lens, 64 to 1972. Kind of made famous in the movie called Blow Up. So, let's learn a little bit about this lens, why don't we? Are you ready, mister? And let's get it on.
Here I am, Vietnam. Rain is always coming down.
This is Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and Dylan. So, Dylan, are we ready to talk? Ready to talk? Nippon, Kogaku, Tokyo.
Stereotypical, over-the-top rendition of the Japanese accent.
Are you ready? I think we're ready, right? All right. So this week, as the intro said, we're looking at one of Nikon's classics. This is the Nikkor H. It's an 85mm 1.8. Again, like a lot of Nikon glass, very nice. It is, something actually made a little famous on the screen in 1966. Just to jump ahead a little bit, or no, it's jumping back, isn't it? Well, compared to where I usually start, it was made famous in a 1966 movie called Blow Up.
Blow Up centres around a photographer, played by David Hemmings, who is listed in the credits as Thomas, but we never hear his name mentioned, already hinting at the film's probing of identity.
Which was directed by Michelangelo Antonioni. I think that's how you say it. It was up for 2 Academy Awards. Actually had, some big name actors in there. Had David Hemming playing the main character of Thomas, who was a photographer. Had Vanessa Redgrave, another big name. Even had some guest shots. There was a scene with the Yardbirds in it when Jimmy Page, he's an easy one to recognize in the group, was in it too. And a lot of people look at it as it was a masterpiece. Now, of course, if you watch the movie, it looks very 1966, in my opinion, anyway. 1966, Daddy was a year old at that time, a little younger than you. Aww. He just turned 2 years old 2 weeks ago, so he's in his terrible 2s, and he's been displaying that a lot lately. Have you been a terrible 2, mister? Yeah, that's what he thinks. So anyway, to jump back, jump back and forth, whatever you want to call it, to the beginning of Nikon. In 1917, a few companies got together and created Nippon Kogaku Tokyo. And Nippon, of course, that's the Japanese term for Japan. Kogaku is either optical or engineering, something like that. And Tokyo, of course, is a city. They launched that off into the optics world, and they began creating lenses. And as much as Canon is a big rival of Nikon these days, it was these guys who actually made Canon's first lenses. Canon was making camera bodies, but they had no lenses, so they bought Nikon lenses and put them on their cameras. And then during World War II, everybody remembers those dreadful days. Well, probably you don't remember them, as you may not have been alive during that time. But we've all seen movies, we've all had history classes and everything else, so. The Japanese were considered the bad guys at the time. And Nikon was working for the Japanese military. And they had like 30 different factories around Japan, with 2,000 workers roughly. creating binoculars, periscopes, bomb sights for their airplanes, and camera lenses. And so, you know, they were doing a lot of stuff for the cause, so to speak, which ended up not having a happy ending for them. So anyway, you know, moving on, well, not moving on, moving still back again a little bit. 1932 was actually their first camera that they came up with. No, that's not true. 1932, they were still making just lenses, but they are making Nikkor or Nikkor, depending on how you say it, as a designator for their lenses. And Nikko or Nikkor without the R, just meant sunshine or sunlight, something like that. Is where they got the term from anyway. And then they used put the R on the end. And this was in 1932. 1948 is when they came up with their first camera. And it was a rangefinder, because that's what everybody was doing back in the day. Was rangefinders. And finally, in 1959, they gave up the effort on rangefinders because they were kind of getting their butt kicked by Canon and Leica in that field. So they decided to go with the SLRs. So, and the rest is history. You know, once they went down that path, it was all bets were off. And they kind of, you know, Nikon, that was a smart move for them, because Nikon was ruling the world after that as far as SLRs were going. It took quite a while for the rest of the world to catch up with them. They had a nice big head start. And anyway, that's as far as I want to go with the history of Nikon. Until now, we've come up with the Nikkor H 85mm 1.8, and it goes up to f/22. So what does the H stand for? You know, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but a lot of Nikon Nikkor or Nikkor lenses have a letter designator after that. And what that means is the letter tells you what the number of elements is inside the lens. So H stands for hexa, which is derived from the Greek word for 6.
It's very important that you say these words correctly, because if you say sex instead of 6, it can be a little bit embarrassing.
And because if they would have said Nikkor S for 6, what are they going to say for a 7 element? So of course they have septum for that. But anyway, that's regardless of the point. So it has 6 elements. So it has 6 elements in 4 groups. Its close focus isn't all that great, you know, but again, it compares to other lenses of the day for this range, and it was 1 meter. Very typical also for 60s Japanese lenses, had 6 aperture blades, and it's got some heft to it. It's 420 grams. So anyway, it's a nice little piece of glass though. And you know, well, the name Nikkor itself, like even on the lens here, it doesn't say Nikon anywhere. You know, it says Nippon Kogaku Japan with the serial number, and then Nikkor H or Nikkor H Auto 1.8 and 85mm. So this is, you know, again, a 60s child.
Yeah, baby.
And it was well received in the photo industry for the day. And as I said, they you know, made it from 1966 to or 1964 to 1972. Did I say 1966 earlier? I think I did. Correction, 1964. So it was a year before me, and went to 1972. So these were also some of the lenses brought to the moon. You want to go to the moon? Yeah. And some of those cameras and lenses and whatnot are still actually on the moon. You know, it wasn't worth bringing them back here. Of course, they brought the photos back, but left the camera equipment up there. So anyway, let's do our usual. Get a shot of the end of the kit lens that I have on my Canon M50, which is recording this video, and I always shoot wide open. Let's see, get as tight as we can on the end of the. I try to read the lettering on the end of the nameplate, right? Yeah, and we'll see how we go from there. So let me get as tight as I can, which looks right about there, actually. All right, 1, 2, 3. Did you hear that? 1, 2, 3, huh? All right, let's, just for shits and giggles, let's do 5.6. Again, to, give a impression of what that might, if that improves anything. All right, there we go, nice and sharp. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, is right. So I'm using my my Sony A7R II as the camera to take the shot. So those were of course the lenses or the shot from here. We're almost maybe 2 meters away, maybe a meter 1.7. So so let's get you some shots of this dude. Dylan, he's been waiting patiently this whole time to see himself on the video, so let's get a shot of Dylan here. All right, and so how about some random stuff? We always got to have random stuff, right? So, so other stuff that we, that photos that were taken with this camera at various apertures. So, are you ready, mister? Here's some random stuff at f whatever. And I think that was pretty much it, right? That's all we have to share with everybody today. Can I recommend this lens? How about you? Can you recommend it? He's like, no, don't talk to me anymore about this lens. Yeah, can we recommend it? Yes.
Yes.
I think we can. So it's, again, for a vintage lens, it's economically priced somewhat. They're not rare. You can pick one up on eBay or wherever your used camera lenses are for wherever you buy them. And then we can go from there. So how about we give a little shout out to our software editing. Oh, no, photo editing software. Yeah, called Luminar. Luminar AI and Luminar Neo. It's what I use. They're actually a company out of the Ukraine. And Ukraine, of course, is going through a bunch of bullcrap with our nasty rivals, the Russians.
The Soviet Union? I thought you guys broke up.
Yes, that's what we wanted you to think.
When I say our, you know, here I am in Vietnam. Actually, Vietnam's friends with Russia. But the rest of the world, not so much. But anyway, so yeah, if you're in the market for any photo editing software, you know, not only is Luminar economical, it's pretty much user-friendly and has some pretty cool bells and whistles. You know, you could check them out. You know, I talk about them in a lot of my other videos as well. Power line removal, dust and spot removal, you know, what else? Scene relighting. You know, it's got artificial intelligence.
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
Of course, it analyzes your photos and can help you adjust from there. All kinds of cool templates and everything, or presets if you want to call them that. So, and it's economical, as I said. It's like 70 or 80 bucks. If you click below, are you going to click below? Hey, click below, and you'll save. You're really. It's been a long time since you made a video, right? You forgot your part here. Hey, click below, you'll save $10. So if it's $80, it's only 70. If it's 70, it's only 60. So you can do the math. But we get a little kickback for that ourselves, right? We like kickback, right? Yeah, kickback. So you can buy some cookies. Anyway, so do that. Do us a favor, because here at Modesty Photography, you know, we're here to teach you tips and tricks about, you know, vintage lenses, vintage cameras, little tips and tricks about photography itself. Maybe every now and then Dylan will behave in a certain way that might get your attention. But anyway, that I think was that. So, what show is this? This was Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and Dylan. And remember, come on back next week because you belong here, right? And this chair is getting squeakier and squeakier as the days go by. Maybe Daddy's getting fatter and fatter or breaking the chair. Man, well, you're getting heavy too. You're almost like 20 kilos. 2 years old, 20 kilos. Eat gas.
What you talking about, doctor?
Little muscle-bound dude. Anyhow, what else can we say? Subscribe, right? We need subscribers. We need to support our channel. So how about you subscribe? That's right. And do Dylan a favor. That was my subscribe. Dylan says, subscribe. That's right. And how about a double-fisted one? Subscribe. That's right. Subscribe to our channel. And what else does YouTube like? The algorithm, right? Likes the thumbs up. So give us a thumbs up for the thumbs up girls. Thumbs up. Do 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 do. Thumbs up. Do 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 do. He's like, oh my God, stop singing, Daddy. He likes the blonde one in front, anyhow. So that was it. That was it. Stay safe out there. Come on back next week and see what else we got in store for you. And thanks for dropping by. All right. So see ya. Say bye bye. Bye bye.
Here I am.